Good evening, class. I'm Michael Bates, and we're going to discuss a little bit of our firefighting apparatuses and what they do. First and foremost, we have our command vehicle. Now, our command vehicle is first on scene and is the brain of the operation. It carries the highest ranking fire officer. Now, what he does is he sits back, looks at the situation, and figure out what we need to do to get the least property damage and the most positive outcome and quickest out of the whole scenarios. It doesn't carry any water or any tools, but it carries a lot of information to get the jobs done that we need to. There's two of these that get on scene in case we have two emergencies. Now, our second vehicle, it is our most important vehicle. It goes on every single run. It's a fire engine. It's probably the most common one that you have seen. It has 500 gallons of water, 50 gallons of foam, and depending on the manning of the stations, it'll carry 2 to 5 people. Now, the driver gets out and initiates about 9 steps so he can get the pump to activate and get water flowing through the lines. There's 3 lines, they're 150 feet, and he's going to be having water flow from 120 to 180 gallons per minute through them so we can get the fire out. It's a quick attack, you pull the hose off, you take care of it. Now, this has a lot of other tools on it. Since this runs to every scene, car crashes, we have hydraulic tools. That's a lot of metal getting bundled up sometimes, and we have to get it cut open quick, and we have to get the individual to safety and get it taken care of no matter what they need. It also has a lot of rope and other tools on it in case we need to do high angle rescues, low angle rescues. We're talking four stories that we're going off of, and it has a lot of medical equipment. A lot of people, we just broken legs, sometimes seizures, fractures, bleeding. We have air on there in case they are having breathing problems. We have stuff to fix their splints, broken legs, and stop the bleeding. Initially get it taken care of, get them packaged on an ambulance, and get them to safety. This is the main vehicle. It also responds with our bigger crash vehicles that we're going to talk about in a little bit. Now, the third on scene is going to be our tanker over here. It holds 4,000 gallons of water. The reason that it holds 4,000 gallons of water is because we do not always have water sources. This is the water source. We don't always have a pool, a lake, or hydrants that we can continuously get water from. So it gets on scene, it hooks up a hose from its truck to that truck, and it continuously supplies the water that is needed. So we can get the fire out, it won't reignite, and we can save we can save the most amount of property and have the least amount of fire loss. It also has 2 fire hoses on it because sometimes stuff breaks. If that engine over there breaks, we have to have something that we can get that initial fire attack done and get that fire out. So it has 2 150-foot lines also, and it also has a pump like that does. So it'll be flowing out about 120 to 180 gallons per minute. Now, the sport vehicle, it doesn't do too many things. It runs the errands, it doesn't have tools on it, it doesn't go on emergencies, but it does a little bit for us. Now, the main things that we deal with, which is completely different than usual fire departments, is we deal with aircraft that shoots into space, we deal with helicopters, we deal with very huge aircraft with lots amount of fuels, missiles, munitions. These right here, 3,000 gallons of water, 1,500 gallons of water, it differs, but on the front of these are bumper turrets. These bumper turrets shoot 250 gallons per minute. We need to get a lot of water on those aircraft. It's got a lot of fuel and it's got a lot of munitions. We cannot let those munitions heat up and explode, or we're going to have some serious problems. These also have 3 150-foot lines on them that can be pulled out and get that initial fire attack done. These also have infrared on them. We do everything at any time of the day, and at nighttime we need to see that fire and know where it's at. So we get our spotlights and our infrared, and we find the fire and we get it taken care of. Our last vehicle will be our rescue vehicle. It looks sort of like the engine, but it carries a lot of tools, just like the engine. It carries the stuff for the vehicles, the medicals, the rescues, the hazmats, and fires and all that stuff. It's like the wagon for us. I appreciate you watching the video. We went over quite a few things. We went over how the apparatuses work, what their purposes is, and what are some of the things that the individuals who drive these apparatuses do. Yet again, I appreciate you watching my video. Please leave any positive or negative comments and critiques at the bottom, and have a Merry Christmas and Happy New Year.